Good morning, it's day 10. Here we are back at our trailhead. We just got dropped off by Charlie from Stanimals, and we're taking off this morning. We had a good stay there. Enjoyed our time. And there's the James River. Got a huge climb this morning. We've got 10.5 miles to Punchbowl Shelter. That's the goal. So pretty in this area. I guess this flows on into the James River. Cool. Alrighty, we are, well, we've climbed our first about 2,000 feet up from the James River. I can't remember how many miles we are in. 3, 4, something like that. That was got hot quick climb. And now we're on a little bit of a respite area, headed down a little bit just to go back up and climb 500 or 600 feet, but I think it's going to be pretty steep. Now we've gotten into all this grassy stuff. We both have bites all over our legs from who knows what. And now we're in this. We'll probably have red bugs next. Took a little break up there at the top. A couple of nice little camp areas. And if I could remember the name of it, I would tell you, or I could just insert it here. Golly. Some of this has thorns on it too. Yeah. Spider web. There's a really cool view up there at the top. Looking back over the James River, and we could see that footbridge that we crossed yesterday. It was real pretty. The camp area up there would be perfect to stop at, and that view, I think you would either catch the sunrise or the sunset over the James River. I'm not sure about the sun. It's almost noon now, so the sun's up. I can't tell which way it goes down. I'm not good with my cardinal directions. All right, looks like we're climbing again. It's kind of a brambly mess. I'll see you later. No, that's fine. We freaking finally made it to the top. Crap, that was horrible. Oh my word. I never want to do this spot again. The grass is terrible. The climb is steep. There are switchbacks, but oh my word. I honestly got one point I was so hot and got dizzy. Didn't think I was going to make it. This grass though, it's bad enough that you're stuck climbing such a steep area, and then it's hot and you're trying to conserve water because there's no water between here and the shelter, and then you gotta fight the grass. Not only do you fight the grass, you fight the bugs that are all up in the grass, flying in your face and ears. And that relentless heat. Oh my gosh. You can see a little peek of the James River. Oh, thank the Lord that we're headed back down. Rest of the day should be easier. Oops. Climb to the top of this was pretty brutal. Glad to be going down that. So we're going to get us some lunch, I guess, since it is 1 o'clock. We did a resupply yesterday at Dollar General, which was different. I found one of these things. Huge. I'll have that. Probably some Butterburs and marshmallow cream. And we'll go from there. It's gorgeous. We are 3.3 away from our shelter that we're stopping at tonight. And the trail has been a little bit easier this afternoon, thank goodness. This morning was terrible, but it is easier. We still got one more climb. It's not as bad. And it's coming up in like half a mile at the bottom of it. Finally got out of all that grass. .3 to the shelter. Feels really good in the shade. So thankful for it. We are less than a mile and a half from the Punchbowl Shelter. And thankfully we're finally on nothing but downhills to the shelter. So this should be a fairly easy walk. And of course I'm going to say that and it's going to get bad. But it is downhill. We have been climbing so much today. Especially this morning. That was just really hot and tough. And we've been running on 2 liters of water each today. Covering 10.5 miles. No water in between. So we have had to be careful how much we drink. I tried to go ahead and drink sort of freely this morning because we were sweating so bad. Just because you don't want to get dehydrated. And then slowed down after lunch to make sure we have enough for that second climb, which wasn't real bad, but it was still a pretty good climb. So I'm down to maybe it's a 1 liter bottle that I'm sipping out of that I've got hooked up to a hydration tube. And I've probably got about 1 inch of water in it. So I'm just sipping lightly. It's supposed to be good water at the shelter, so that'd be the first thing I do when I get there is run fetch me some water and filter it up and guzzle it. And we are planning to stay there tonight unless the black flies are bad, which some other people have mentioned it could be the case in the summer. But being that this is later in the summer, maybe there aren't any black flies. There's supposed to be some kind of stagnant pond out in front of it. That could be the reason for the flies. I don't know. We're going to look and make sure before we settle in. If it turns out to be buggy, real buggy, we may push on another, I think it's about a mile, maybe a little bit less. There's another camp spot that we could go to if need be. Looking forward to spending some time off my feet. Planning on having a campfire tonight just for fun. It's always relaxing once we get it going. It's relaxing to sit around one and stare at it. It always makes us feel good. Boost the morale. So that would be the other thing we do after getting water, would be to gather up some firewood. We ran into Nomad. He was a guy that was at the hostel. He's doing a through hike this year and he's been heading south. No, I think he's flip-flopping. I think he may have started in Harper's Ferry, went north to Katahdin and then came back, and he's headed south now. But he is doing some slack packing around this area where Stanimals Hostel is. So what he's doing, he's got a real tiny pack that he puts snacks and water, any emergency supplies in. Then he gets them to drop him off at a certain point. And this morning he was dropped off, I want to say 20-something miles north of where we started this morning. And he's working his way south. Well, we met him, we were like 6 miles into our hike. And he was headed south. He had already done maybe about 16 miles. But having a lightweight pack and running, he said he was running on every flat spot he could. When he came upon it, like on this right here, he would run. So the dude is moving. I love these little flowers. I like how the centers of them are, some of them are yellow and some of them are kind of pinkish, purplish. I think though the reason the difference, they're kind of reddish. I think it's just that they're older. So the fresher ones are the ones with the yellow centers. But that's so pretty, especially when the sunbeam passes through the trees and lights them up like that right there. They're so brilliant. I love them. Oh, all right, I'll show you the shelter when I get there. We just turned right there off onto the trail that leads to the shelter. I think it's 2 tenths off DAT, if I remember correctly. Thank goodness it's not a climb. I mean, I climb out tomorrow, unless this starts going down here. Pretty much just kind of flat out. There's a little dip here. I just jumped a deer. Thought I heard something over there. Hopefully just deer or nothing. Some loose rocks. Yay. Well, this won't be too bad coming out in the morning. Tomorrow we only have a little over 4 miles, I think. Hope nobody else is here. I really want to hang my hammock in the shelter. Ooh, I like. I might hammock out here anyway. We'll see. I just want to peek in there and make sure nobody was there before I started the video. And there it is, the Punchbowl Shelter. Nice fire pit.